Hi, my name is Reea Rodney. I am so thrilled to be reading to you guys today. So, to share a little bit about myself, I am a self published author. I have personally written and self published 20 books, 15 of which are children's books. Children are the core of my heart, and I love writing and sharing inspirational stories with children so that you guys can grow and soar and truly believe in yourself. Today, I'm going to be reading one of my books, which is a part of a series. This book is actually three books combined in the series thus far. And the name of this book is Juniper and Rose, Sisters First and Best Friends Forever. So before I read this book, I'd like to just touch a little bit about the characters and the inspiration behind this book. So Juniper and Rose, they are fraternal twin sisters. And the word fraternal means that they do not look alike. So as we know, we have identical twins where they look exactly the same, and we have fraternal twins where they look completely different. Nevertheless, they are twin sisters and they are best friends. In this book, Juniper and Rose are going to encounter some problems. So they are going to start to like different things, and they just don't know how to work together, how to accept the fact that they are both changing. I know for a fact that each and every one of you who are listening to the story would at some point in your life find yourself being on the opposite side with someone else. Perhaps it's your best friend or your brother or your sister or a cousin. What happens when you guys start to drift apart because you no longer like the same things? What do? How do you work together? How do you fix this problem so you guys will continue being best friends and really enjoying each other's company? This book, Juniper and Rose, which is the first book in the Juniper and Rose children's series, are going to show you how you can overcome through teamwork, compromise, acceptance, and just really understanding that being different or liking different things is not a bad thing. So let's dive in. I'm excited. Page 1. Juniper and Rose love each other very much. Since the day they were born, they have been together all the time. And they both seem to love the same things. They love riding their bikes at the park on the weekend with their mom and dad. They love swinging on the monkey bars. They also love going down the slide and circling round and round the merry-go-round. They could do that for hours. The girls have very creative minds. They especially love dressing up as fairy princesses and having fancy tea parties with their imaginary friends. Their favorite colors are pink and green. Juniper always wants to wear the pink princess dress, and Rose always wants the green one. They love caring for others too. Because of this, their mom and dad call them the twin doctors. Whenever someone is sick, they are always ready with their first aid kit and are able to find a cure to save the day. Juniper and Rose also get into a lot of trouble together. Juniper is known for being the mastermind behind it all. One day, the girls took colorful markers and drew all over their bedroom walls. When their mom walked into their room, she was shocked beyond belief. "Your room!" she said and folded her arms to show her disapproval. "What have you done?" With an innocent smile on her lips, Rose said, "Look, Mom, we drew a beautiful rainbow just for you." Juniper Juniper chimed in and exclaimed, "Don't you love the colors, Mommy? They are just like the one in the rainbow song." By the way, this is Rose with the red hair, and this is Juniper, who looks just like her mommy. Their mother unfolded her arms and smiled. "You girls will be helping me clean these walls as soon as you're done, understand?" They were so full of fun and mischief, it was hard to be angry with them for too long. Juniper and Rose once hid their dad car keys so he couldn't go to work. They giggled as they watched their dad look everywhere for his keys. "Where are my car keys?" he asked. The girls stopped giggling as soon as he got closer to them. "Look, they have the keys. I guess they're being mischievous once again." "Juniper," he gave a questioning glare in Juniper's direction. "Rose," he asked, looking at her, "have either of you seen my keys?" The girls shrugged their shoulders, smiled shyly, and at the very same time replied, "No, Daddy." As soon as their dad walked away, each twin put a hand over their mouth and began giggling again. It wasn't long before they decided to give their dad the keys and a big hug. It didn't matter what they did, naughty or nice. It was all for one and one for all. Sisters first and best friends forever. That was their motto. But as Juniper and Rose grew older, they started to like different things. That is when it all began. Double trouble. Let's see what happened now. Juniper's favorite color was now purple, and Rose couldn't understand why she didn't like the colors pink and green anymore. Juniper began painting her nails purple. She also had a purple watch, many purple headbands, and she even wore purple lip gloss. Rose still loved the colors pink and green. She kept all the pink and green things that she once shared with Juniper. After all, pink and green had been their favorite color all their life. Look at Rose's face. She's so sad. She's unhappy. And Juniper is really loving herself. She's confident and she's happy. Let's see what happened next, guys. Now, whenever they played dress up, Juniper wanted to be a mean witch instead of a fairy princess. She would often let her imagination run wild by casting evil spells on their imaginary friends. Sometimes Rose would get upset and call for her mom to make her stop. But Juniper could be very stubborn. She would not change her mind about being a witch. So Juniper is really coming into her own, right? She's starting to like different things. And Rose is having a hard time accepting it. So let's see what happened next. As much as it was difficult for Rose to accept the new Juniper, she was going through some changes of her own. She no longer wanted to ride her bike at the park. Instead, she would rather sit beneath a shady tree and doodle in her notepad with her markers. Uh-oh, look at Juniper's face. Now she is sad because Rose actually don't like to ride her bike anymore. She prefers to sit below a shaded tree and doodle, which means to draw in her notepad. So now Juniper is riding all alone. So it looks like the both of them are going through some changes and they're having a hard time adjusting. Let's see what happened next, guys. The twins were no longer a team. All for one and one for all, sisters first and best friends forever, they started to drift apart. They couldn't accept the fact that they were both changing. Their togetherness had started to disappear. Suddenly, the once very happy sisters became sad little girls. One night during dinner, it was clear to their mom and dad that something wasn't right. Neither girls touched their meals, nor did they speak. What's the matter, their dad asked. Here it comes. Rose stood up and walked towards her dad. In a sad, soft voice, she replied, Juniper doesn't like the colors pink and green anymore, Daddy. Her favorite color is now purple. Whenever we play dress up and have tea parties with our imaginary friends, Juniper wants to be a mean witch instead of a fairy princess. She even casts spells on our guests. Then, with much sadness, Juniper said, Rose doesn't want to ride her bike with me anymore. All she wants to do is sit beneath a tree and doodle in her notepad. There we have it. They're both expressing how they're feeling. At that moment, their mom and dad finally realized what was happening. Their beautiful twin daughters were changing and they were having trouble adjusting to it. They knew this was the perfect time to explain to the girls exactly what was happening to them. You know, girls, their dad said, sometimes people change, but that doesn't mean the love they have for each other is gone. But it feels like everything has changed, Juniper cried. How can we love each other when all we do is fight all day long? Change changes everything, Rose exclaimed, bursting into tears. Not everything has changed, their dad replied, sitting each girl on his lap and kissing them both on the cheek. Let's see what happened next. Drama. You still love doing the same things, but in different ways. You both love going to the park, dressing up, and playing with your imaginary friends. And you both love to paint your nails, wear lip gloss, and many other things as well. Their mom smiled as she recited their favorite motto back to them. All for one and one for all, sisters first and best friend forever. The girls looked at each other and smiled as their mom finished the motto. You're right, they both cheered. Mom, Dad, you're the best. You have saved the day. Hey, we said that together, Rose giggled. I guess not everything has changed, Juniper laughed. So let's see what's going to happen next. The girls then talked long and hard about what their parents had said to them. Soon they came up with a plan that they called teamwork. Ever since that day, they take turns painting their nails in each other's favorite color. At the park, they take turns riding their bike and doodling in their notepads. Whenever they play dress up with their imaginary friends, they both are witches. Juniper is the mean witch and Rose is the good witch. As the good witch, Rose casts a magical spell and turned them back into fairy princesses at the end. Juniper and Rose are on their way to being the best team ever. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. As you can see, Juniper and Rose are sisters who love each other very much. But they started to like different things and they did not know how to handle it. Through a little coaching and reminder from mom and dad, they were able to work their differences out and went back on to being best sisters forever. I hope you enjoyed this book.